Well, the time has finally come. Today, on this lovely One Piece Friday, probably not coming out on Friday because I'm just struggling to keep up because I've been struggling to record, but that's neither here nor there. I am going to do something that no one has ever done. And when I say no one, I really mean everyone's done it, honestly, at some point or another. That's not the point, because today I am going to rank every single straw hat who is currently on the crew right now. Hey guys, Rich Mixed here, back at it again with another video today on this lovely One Piece Friday or Saturday. Hopefully Friday, but probably not. One Piece is going to be on break for 4 weeks, and this week I am ranking the straw hats, and I have One Piece content planned for the break. Now, I should probably be talking about 153 and things such as Green Bull and whatnot, but I got videos dedicated to that. But I figured I would also take this time to get some things that I wanted to get done and taken care of out of the way first before I get to that or it'll just be intertwined in between. We'll see how everything goes out. But I gotta say this before we get into the video. If you are new to the channel and you are a fan of One Piece, hit the like button, subscribe for future One Piece content to be injected straight into your YouTube feed when it comes out from my channel. And of course, turn on notifications so that way you can know whenever a video of mine does go live. I talk about other things outside of One Piece, but a lot of my content is One Piece related. But with all that being said, and without any further ado, let's begin. So let's start with number 10. And yes, number 10, because for the time being, Yamato is not a part of the crew officially not until Luffy says it himself. It can't just be Yamato saying that she's gonna join the crew. Luffy has to confirm it. Okay? We need him to confirm it. I'm going with Jinbei's ideology. And speaking of Jinbei, he's our number 10 pick. Now, to be clear, I really don't hate Jinbei, but someone has to take the top spot. And frankly, we haven't had a lot of time with him on the crew. He only officially really truly joined just as the raid was about to get started. I think he's a cool character in all reality, and his flashback is one of my favorites. In fact, it's in my top 5. Despite this, he still has more time to spend with the crew, and maybe he will shift in my ranking with the more time he spends palling around with the Straw Hats. Now let's get on to my number 9 pick. It is the one, the only, everyone's favorite walking, talking, singing, afro-wielding skeleton, Soul King Brook. Brook is a character whose jokes have always managed to make me laugh. And not to mention, he has some of the coolest moments in the series, especially when he faced off against Big Mom. That was just absolutely badass. He's very much so like a bard from D&D in a lot of ways, and that's something that I really just can't help but enjoy. I love his musical numbers, especially in the anime, because, you know, well, there's actual singing, but I've had very few moments where he has been an emotional pull as far as the other Straw Hats are concerned, or at least in comparison with them. But I will say this, his flashback is my favorite, and I cry every time we get to Bink Sake. It's an absolutely heart-wrenching moment. But now it's time for number 8. And our number 8 pick is everyone's favorite reindeer, tanuki, raccoon dog thing, Dr. Tony Chopper. Now, he has always been a character that for me has been really hard to rank. And like, for many reasons, I love him because he's so shy and he's so naive, especially in the first half of the series. I loved his interactions with Usopp and stuff like that because he really didn't understand a lot of things about the world at the time, and so I really enjoyed the interactions they had because Usopp was like an older brother in a lot of ways for Chopper. Yet, he rarely has standout moments. In fact, I can count them on my hand. He's a great character who has a lot of heart. And when Chopper plays a key role in the arc, it's always fantastic. I just wish we could get more of it. That's all, really. And now for our next one. our number 7 pick. Everyone's favorite Cyborg Shipwright, absolute freak, the one, the only, Frankie. Now when it comes to Frankie, the reasons why I love him, it's just his energy really. The energy he has is so much fun. And not to mention, in the anime, his theme song is my absolute favorite. Now, I do honestly prefer his pre-time skip look, but his post-time skip look is also just fantastic and amazing, and really fits his character very well, and illustrates just who Frankie is in a lot of ways, and just how much he's really grown as a character over the 2-year time skip. Not to mention his English dub voice actor is chef's kiss. Honestly, it's the best out of all the Straw Hats dub voice actors, with maybe the exception of Brooke. Brooke's voice actor is something else.
I'm told by the directors that it looks like I'm having a mental breakdown because I go into the corner as soon as I get in there. I'm like, oh, cool, we're doing Brooke, come on.
Frankie is also a character who has managed to get a lot of shine over the course of the series, and his flashback is absolutely heart-wrenching as well. It is devastating to say the least, and it's one of those moments that I always go back to in the story, because it's just so tragic. Now, the only major drawback to his character that I get is the lack of emotional moments outside of his flashback and him joining up with the crew and stuff like that. At the end of the day, he really is just a super guy. Now, my number 6 spot goes to everyone's favorite one-eyed swordsman who has terrible directional sense, Roanoa Zoro. And honestly, my number 5 pick is neck and neck with Zoro, but ultimately for reasons I'll get into, Zoro gets put to number 6 instead of being put at number 5. Zoro for me really has that cool factor that a lot of shonen characters really strive for. He's a no-nonsense type of guy when it comes to a fight, but he's also really good for some of my favorite running gags in the series. Zoro always really knows how to be a boss. But that being said, he also has one major downside, and that's attributed to the fact of just how much of a badass he really is in the series. And when I say that, I mean, well, if you haven't noticed the running theme across the Straw Hats, it's the lack of an emotional connection. His flashback is honestly one of the weakest out of the Straw Hats in comparison to, you know, some of the Titans when it comes to flashback material. Him and Usopp probably have the weakest flashbacks overall, I will say. And not to say that it wasn't interesting, because it sets up a whole lot in relation to his character, and also some hints at Wano 2 in a very interesting and subtle way. But at the end of the day, I just really don't care for it as much as the others. But we must keep going onwards. So now it's time for the top 5. My number 5 spot is one that I contemplated for quite some time, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. Because originally, I had Zoro at this spot before I made my final decision. And so, my number 5 pick is Nico Robin, the demon child herself. Her character has always been a mystery and absolutely fascinating to me. Her flashback is honestly one of my favorites, and you know, it happens in Enies Lobby, one of my favorite arcs in all of One Piece. And beyond her importance to the story, she's just a fun character to follow, and I enjoy a lot of the gags that Oda has given her over time. I love how subtle her character is, and furthermore, she has some of my absolute favorite moments in the entire series. Her character growth was also absolutely fantastic. But then that begs a question, why is she only number 5? Well, I just like the other 4 Straw Hats just a little bit more than Robin. Number 4, Nami. When we first met Nami, she was just traveling with the Straw Hats. She wasn't really one of them. But we got to see her over the course of East Blue grow to understand who Luffy is, and start to understand that, well, not all pirates are really bad. And she is always a treat to either watch in the anime or read in the manga. And her flashback is absolutely tragic, Are there sadder ones? Well, yeah, but this hints at a lot of themes that Oda will eventually go into greater detail as the series goes on. Her gags are great, her dynamic with the crew is just amazing and just entertaining to watch. She's a character that has been there since the early days and one of the first Straw Hats. One of the, well, founding members of the Straw Hats, really. Alright, time for our number 3 pick. That's right, we're finally to the top 3, guys. And it's the man that really managed to become a god, if you know what I mean. I'm of course talking about God Usopp, king of snipers and all around just a really cool and funny character in the show. I absolutely adore Usopp, especially his dynamic, like I said, with Chopper, but also his dynamic with Luffy, and it's just absolutely amazing. And I also like to see him interact with Frankie because in some ways they have similar interests. And overall, he's a very relatable character. In fact, I would go as far as to say he's the most relatable character on the crew, because in all reality, he is a normal person surrounded by a bunch of people that are able to do insane levels of damage and do all kinds of stuff. He's just a guy that over the course of the time skip got buff, learned a lot about plants, and is a really good shot. And I honestly think with his character, he has the most potential. And I can see him being and doing so much. And I'm honestly extremely excited for it. Now, admittedly, as I said earlier, his flashback is really weak. But his character on the whole is just amazing, and I love Usopp's character. It's just fantastic. He honestly, along with Luffy, has my favorite moment in the entire series, and the most tragic moment when they fight. It's just absolutely heartbreaking to see these best friends duke it out. But truthfully, he's a character that a lot of people can see themselves in, but he doesn't compete with the number 2 spot on this list. Let's talk about everyone's favorite cook. Now, who has a bit of an unhealthy obsession with women, and who has a dream that most people consider impossible to reach, like Luffy's? It's Sanji's. Now, you can make an argument that Zoro's dream is just as impossible as Luffy's dream, but I'm pretty sure there's been a lot more greatest swordsmen over the course of history than there are King of the Pirates, so yeah, that's a bit of a toss-up, honestly. The cook is one who has been one of my favorites for a long time. He's always been in my top 5, and I've always really enjoyed his character. His gags have always made me laugh. He's just a very enjoyable character to watch on the screen or read in the manga. And from his first flashback to the flashback that they did in Whole Cake Island, it is just gut-wrenching to see this character who has gone through so much emotional abuse from his family and how he became the person that he is. We learn a lot more about who Sanji really is, and he's really this in-depth and fleshed out character. In fact, Whole Cake Island is probably why he occupies the number 2 spot. He's a character with a code that he refuses to break. And honestly, it's what makes him who he is, and it's genuinely very important to his character. He's always been a character that has managed to make me smile, and he's always been the king of last-minute saves. He's a character that has always been cool to me, even if some people really don't see it. And it's not that I think he's stronger than Zoro. I do think Zoro is stronger than Sanji at the end of the day. I just really enjoy Sanji's character. There's a lot more depth to it, a lot more layers. You can understand who this character truly and really is. Not to say you can't understand who Zoro is, you really can. He's not hard to understand. But there's a lot more driving Sanji in the way that he's going. His dedication to his code, his dedication to his crew, and all this, and just being true to himself is absolutely beautiful. But I can't keep you waiting, so let's go on to the top spot. And if it wasn't already obvious, it's about to be. And that is the Going Merry. Just kidding, it's Luffy. Our captain, the one, the only, the man who's going to do it, surpass Roger, and become the king of the pirates, Straw Hat Luffy. and our captain. Now what can I say about him that hasn't already been said by other people? He's a character who stands up for his friends and is willing to even sacrifice his own dreams and goals if it means his friends get to live and survive. Because at the end of the day, he's there for the journey. He doesn't truly care if he becomes king of the pirates. Well, he cares if he does. He wants to be king of the pirates. But at the end of the day, he wants to do it with his friends. And if his friends can't be there, there's no point for him going on this epic adventure that he's been going on. It's a quality of him that I have always admired, and it's one of the reasons why I think he really is going to be able to surpass Goldie Roger, because just like Goldie Roger, that's something that the two of these characters have in common, and they're huge inversions of each other, and it's absolutely fantastic. He is the heart of the crew, and he is the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, and he is the best of the Straw Hat Pirates, and well, that's why he takes the #1 spot, guys. Furthermore, that is why Monkey D. Luffy is the greatest protagonist in all of shonen media. Well, there you have it. My official ranking of the Straw Hat Pirates. Now, if Yamato does officially join, which a lot of people do think that she will soon enough, then I will comment down below my new ranking with Yamato included in the list, and I will pin that comment so that way you guys can go down below if you're watching this video after she has joined the crew. But until then, this Sunday I do plan to talk about something from 1053. I intend to talk about Green Bull's true purpose, but you're gonna have to wait to find out what that is. And if you really want to know what that is, well, you know what you gotta do. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, so that way you are notified when that video goes live. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, hit the like button, comment down below what you think. Let me know who your favorite Straw Hat is. With all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, Rich Mix out.
Jumpstart, can't breathe.